I don't care. I might
Hey there, it is Wednesday, May 1st, 12:35 p.m. is the time, and it's about 12 degrees Celsius, and I'm here in Midtown Toronto, and that is the intersection of Yonge and Eglinton just behind me. And this is the first day of the consumer boycott of the Loblaws grocery chain. And just across the street, there's a competing grocery chain located in the Yonge Eglinton Center. There's a Metro over there, and just to the south of here, there's a Farm Boy. So the big three in this province are well represented in this neighborhood. But for this one, I'll be heading over to the Loblaws, and we'll see how things are going. And the Loblaws I'm heading to is a few blocks east of here, and it opened back in 2017. And the boycott came about from a subreddit called Loblaws is Out of Control, which started around 5 months ago and has since amassed over 60,000 followers. And the organizer said she created it out of frustration from how high food prices have been negatively impacting Canadians. It's no secret that grocery prices have been greatly outpacing inflation, but so have price markups, and many products have been shrinking while maintaining or increasing their price with packaging that looks similar to what it used to look like. So there's an illusion that you're getting the same amount, but you're actually paying more for less these days on a lot of products. Personally, I don't shop at Loblaws anyways. I don't really do a lot of grocery shopping. I eat out and do takeout a bit more than I'd like to admit. But I think the idea is to shift consumer behavior towards supporting smaller independent retailers. There's a few different produce markets just north of Yonge and Eglinton. That's where I tend to get my bananas and other fresh fruits. They typically have a better stock than the big grocery chains. But really the predatory big three have a grip on things. Loblaws themselves have over 1,300 stores in the country, and their brands include Shoppers Drug Mart, which maybe I'll walk by later, but also No Frills, the Real Canadian Superstore, Zehrs, Loblaw, Value Mart, Fortino's, your independent grocer, Wholesale Club, Shoppers Drug Mart, which I already mentioned, Atlantic Superstore, Fresh Mart, and T&T. That's an Asian grocer, and they took them over, I think about 10 years ago or so. And there's the Loblaws. There's also Metro, who operates Food Basics and a number of other brands. And Empire, which operates Sobeys and Longo's and Farm Boy and a number of other brands, but those would be the big ones. I think Freshco is their budget brand. And there's a fourth group called the Pattison Group. I couldn't tell you what their brands are. I don't think they have a strong presence in this area. But between the three big predatory brands, there's an illusion of choice. But Loblaws is the biggest of them all. I think they had revenues of $60 billion in 2023. Empire Group had half of that and Metro had a third of that. And Loblaws has also been called out for having some very egregious price markups online. And they also participated in a bread price fixing scandal. And they were barely slapped on the wrist for that. And I did work for Loblaws back when I was in high school. I was a grocer or a grocery clerk, aka stock boy. It's also worth noting that they've dipped their greedy little fingers into healthcare. They own a number of healthcare clinics, including walk-ins and family practices. And they're expanding greatly in that area. They own a bank. And there it is, President's Choice Financial. That used to be handled by CIBC. And they even have a President's Choice branded mobile carrier, so they have their tentacles deep into a number of areas. And in January, to use their words, to reduce confusion rather than reducing expired meat products to 50% like they always did, they announced that they would be reducing them to 30%, and there was quite an uproar over that. And they had to walk that back. But I couldn't tell you how this compares to how it normally would be. I just saw a security guard and made a quick right. Fresh food. It certainly hasn't stopped these folks here from shopping here. The only thing I really buy from grocery stores these days, aside from the odd staple I can't get elsewhere, are fresh, or rather frozen fruits. We'll take a look at those. I buy bananas the odd time the other markets are closed. Oh, their bananas are priced the same as Metro.
Asian Mart Department, call 103, please. Asian Mart Department, 103, please. Thank you.
You can take a look at their meat prices. Seems like they have a lot of things on sale. I wonder if in anticipation of this boycott, they rolled out the big guns. You can let me know down in the comments what you think of these prices. Or 0.232 kilograms, $9.97. Oh man. I couldn't tell you if these are good prices or not. And it goes without saying, if you're American, these prices are in Canadian. All right, I think the frozen fruits will be just over here. that is not even ice cream in a lot of cases. Here we go. Normally I would pay about 2 for $9 for 600 grams at Metro. They seem to be on sale every week. Here, 600 grams, 2 for $10, or normally $6 each. So that's about in line what I would pay. And they've got these big bags here. I just use those in my morning smoothies. I think that was a store manager I just passed. That kale at 2 for $9 was not a bad deal. But it's really not people like me that are so much affected by this because I don't have a family to support. But I read that if 60,000 families stayed away from this chain for 1 month, averaging $1,000 in spending, that would be 60 million lost revenue. And hopefully that just wouldn't be funneled to the other big chains. And someone online was putting sticky notes on a lot of items that you could also get at the dollar store, letting people know the lower price at Dollarama. When I shop for cereal, I always just look for the sale tags, and anything that's $2.99 or $3.99 and relatively healthy, like muesli, jumps out. This one, you can get that on Amazon for cheaper than that right now. Amazon, of course, owns Whole Foods, but for a lot of these goods, they will sell for the same price or cheaper. You can also look into Walmart's online shopping. I think it's $60 a month for or a year for free grocery delivery. And they also beat these prices in most cases. I typically pay about $10 for a bag of coffee beans that have been ground this size. But of course, that depends on the brand. Yeah, on the surface, it's very similarly priced to my local Metro. And it's certainly not a ghost town. Milk is the same price. Oh my, these are expensive for what they are, but they are delicious. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I find myself plant shopping on a video about boycotting this chain. I like that one, but there is a nursery near here. Where you can pick up a number of plants at a superior selection, and at least you're not supporting Loblaws. I can't even remember the last time I bought anything from this store. I think it was back when the Metro employees were on strike. But I think if you were to poll Canadians and say, which company do you like the least, this one would probably come out on top. I think Rogers would have been a strong candidate for that in the past. They're a big telecommunications conglomerate. That's another area where we have the illusion of choice, but in reality, we don't really have choice. But there was a look in Loblaws. And since this is a walking channel and this video is only 17 minutes in, I'm going to keep going east here over to Redpath. And then we'll head up through the residential area, and we'll briefly pop into Shoppers Drug Mart, their other chain, and we'll see what things are going like there. I have a feeling it's not any different than usual. There's also a Metro chain just east of here at Bayview. So let me know if you think this boycott will gain more traction, or if you think it's a big nothing burger that won't affect Loblaws' bottom line. It certainly must be tough given the rising cost of living in this country and stagnant wages and the tough job market to support a family. And I think one of the issues is that although farmers are squeezed and the food producers are squeezed, the grocery stores aren't lowering their markups. So their profits are better than ever. Hey, there's the Young and Eligible Cafe. This neighborhood was often referred to as Young and Eligible. And then Metrolinx came along and made a disaster out of Eglinton. And I think people stopped using that term. This street here is Roehampton. This side of Yonge Street has really been overtaken by high-rises. The west side of Yonge Street has been fairly immune to this, but there's a few planned to go up. And of course, the crosstown was to have opened long by now, but who knows when that will actually open. I'm making my way back towards Yonge Street. And we'll just confirm my suspicion that the traffic at Shoppers Drug Mart is not affected. I know someone who used to live in that building. Living through those renovations, and they're redoing the balconies, is an absolute living hell if you live in the building. Just constant vibrating and power tools from morning till about 5 p.m. It is non-stop. And that stuff tends to vibrate throughout the whole building. And then after all of that, you get a nice rent increase, an above board rent increase, because the landlord was able to apply under capital improvements. And in a lot of cases, those renovations aren't even needed from a structural or safety point of view. They're what's referred to as lipstick renovations. They do the math. If they spend XYZ number of dollars improving the property, they'll easily make that back in time. With their increased rent. That's the game they're playing. It's a public high school that's been integrated into those condos, North Toronto Collegiate. It is 12:58. I've got to grab some lunch, go home and head out, and get myself over to the Sky Dome to catch the Blue Jays. We've got a 3 p.m. game today. And Shoppers Drug Mart, where I'm headed to, I think was purchased by Loblaws in 2014. And a lot of those very same items on the shelves at Loblaws you can find in this Dollarama here for much less. It's no secret. This is often the better place to get a lot of those items. There's another Dollarama across the street. And it is Shoppers.
The store's closed.
Oh, thank you. That door on the right was closed. Why does it even open in the first place? How stupid is that? Or maybe that's for fire or safety reasons, but at least put a sign up. Well, you could get a whole banana for 69 cents. But Shoppers here has a pretty extensive grocery section. Although this kind of store is always going to be more expensive than a grocery store. And that's only 300 grams for $7.29. 600 grams at $7.29. So about $1.29 more. They do have a Canada Post outlet here, and there's a pharmacy in the back. But I could not tell you if business has been affected at all or not. I just wanted to come check this out. But I hope you enjoyed this Loblaws is out of control walk. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below, and if you are participating in the boycott or not. I will certainly not be shopping at any Loblaws establishments, but I never really did anyways. All right, let's awkwardly end the video in the store. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you wish to support the channel, I forgot, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Yoink!